When we think of streetwear, hip-hop, culture, we don't necessarily always think of fashion, high-end fashion at that. Today we're going to talk about the unlikely success of Virgil Abloh and his eternal impact not only on hip-hop, streetwear, and fashion, but on the world and why he will always be remembered. Cue the intro. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Campbell and we're back with another video. Now, first and foremost, if this is your first time clicking on my channel, I ask you to do me a quick favor. Please hit that subscribe button as well as turn on that notification bell that way you're notified anytime that I drop some content. And while you're at it, please leave a like down below. It helps the algorithm as my channel continue to grow and it pushes my content out in front of more and more people. And if this isn't your first time on the channel, I just want to say welcome back to the trenches. It's your boy Meech reporting live and I got some great content for y'all today. So when we think of successful people, not only business people, but people who had a global impact in terms of music and hip-hop, rather it be R&B, rap, or singing, we think of two major names such as Rihanna and Kanye West. Well, both of them were inspired by Virgil Abloh, not to mention the millions and millions of people whose lives were changed by some of his pieces. For the most part, streetwear is seen as cheap, and Virgil's intellect and his brain allowed it to become much more than just cheap, simple stuff that would go out of style in a few months to a year. Virgil's brand and his brain connected streetwear with aesthetic and high-end luxury fashion. He made streetwear in a sense credible and made it acceptable even on the runway. What he was able to do was manage to bridge the gap between society and so many other people of so many different generations, different ethnicities, different cultures, different backgrounds, and he was able to in a sense bridge the gap and make it in a way that a lot of these things that normally maybe have been successful or acceptable years ago is now like cool in a sense where it's a great thing to do. In a large part, streetwear is always seen as cheap. What my goal has been to add an intellectual layer to it and make it credible. Vintage Levi's are just as important as an Hermes bag, and today they'll come together in the same outfit. He's a guy who's absolutely killed it in Paris Fashion Week, and he's done things that nobody saw possible. Which is crazy is Virgil now has a huge name, especially within like the rap community and hip hop, because you hear his name across so many different songs and stuff like that. But he's been around for a long time. In 2002, he was actually Kanye West's creative consultant. In 2009, he interned alongside Kanye West in the Rome headquarters of Fendi. Soon after, he started building his own label and working on his own thing called Pyrex. He later debuted in New York in December 2012. He's had partnerships with the likes of people like Kim Kardashian, A$AP Rocky, Rihanna, Kanye West, as I mentioned earlier, and many other notable figures. We saw kids from Harlem presenting Rick Owens and Rap Simmons in a different way that connected directly to the culture and Pyrex vision, and it became the aesthetic of just that. Until then, high fashion was dictating what was happening in culture, and for the first time that had been reversed by the generation of influential kids. That in turn affected the market. It saddens me today to talk about this amazing and extreme journey and how he became successful. We had Virgil's very first collection before Off-White, Pastel, and then Pyrex vision from the beginning. The creative director Sarah Andelman quoted, who started stocking Virgil's work about 16 years ago. Off-White was a first collection for our ground floor with other streetwear brands. Then in a very organic way, it became a luxury fashion brand for our first floor, she had. Pastel was a streetwear developed by Virgil with Kanye West in the mid-2000s that never officially got off the ground. Now the question arises, what was the secret to his success? What Virgil does really well is cross-platform messaging. He realizes that he is a brand and it's in everything he does. From his DJ name being flat white to wearing his products in public and connecting with young influencers who also wear his product. In addition to being inspired by the youth culture, he remains an active part of it, whereas Kanye West said listen to the kids. Virgil is actually out there with them. But Abloh claimed to broaden his apparel. I'm not going to choose between the mother or the teenager. It's a more wide open and less specific thing that I'm banking on, he says. It seems the creative director also had his sights set on something even bigger, shaking up a major European luxury brand. The end goal is to modernize fashion and steer a fashion house, because I believe in the modernization of these storied brands, he says, referencing to the arrival of Alessandro Michele at Gucci and at Balenciaga. I want to prove this new iteration of fashion, and he wants to use Off-White as a case study for the new ideas that relate to current consumers, because at the end of the day, it's an industry I believe in. I feel like there's a lot we can actually learn from Virgil and his impact not only in the world but in terms of his culture, his community, and what he was true to. On this channel we talk a lot about the trenches and staying true to who you are and what you believe in, And I think this is a clear-cut example of a guy who not only took a chance on himself, but he had faith in himself, his brand. He made an impact across the world. Like, forget talking about a certain neighborhood, a block, or a certain demographic. This dude changed the entire world with his visionary brain, his belief in himself, and his ideas. I think there's a tremendous amount that we can learn from it in terms of just staying true to yourself, having faith in yourself, and continuing to bet on yourself and believe in yourself, even when the goals at hand seem so tall and so hard to tackle. It saddens me making this video, understanding that he is no longer here and that, you know, his battle with cancer is now over. He's a guy who's had a huge global impact, and he's a guy who's changed the faces and the lives of many others. For a black man to come into the fashion industry and do what he's been able to do, and connect that streetwear and like the hip hop and the smaller stuff like that, and connect that with luxury brands, you know, it's simply just amazing. And I think he's a guy who will be immortal. I think he's a person who will never actually die, and I don't think he will ever go away. And I believe his work, his pieces of art will remain a huge staple in the world of fashion for the time to come. I just want to send my condolences to his family, friends, and loved ones, and all those who actually looked up to Virgil. I never asked y'all to comment anything, but on this video, I asked you to do me a favor. Please just type RIP in the comment section. Now, if you found this video entertaining, informative, educational, or you just liked it in any way, shape, or form, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, as well as turn on that notification bell where you're notified anytime that I drop some content. And while you're at it, please leave a like down below. It helps the algorithm, helps my channel continue to grow, and it pushes my content out in front of more and more people. That being said, I just want to say thank y'all. I love those who love me. I appreciate y'all. Rest in peace, Virgil. You will be greatly missed, and we appreciate your work and your dedication and your impact on the world. I'm gonna catch y'all back at the next video.